Hi, this is Jim Martini, your instructor, and I just wanted to give you a quick review on issues, contentions, and how you use them to prove your side of a claim. In the next discussion that you're going to be arguing a claim, and I just wanted to make sure that you were ready to go. So let's take a look again at issues. Remember the story I told in the earlier unit about Duncan Hines that wanted to send their cake mixes over to Japan, and they knew the Japanese loved them, and so they went and sent thousands of boxes over to Japan. Nobody bought any. It was eventually called the Japanese cake disaster. What happened? They failed to ask a key question, and that question was, do the Japanese have the type of ovens needed to bake a cake? They could find the answers, but they needed to come up with the questions, and that's why I always like to say that it is the expert that knows what questions to ask. And so for us to make any decision on a claim, we have to ask questions about it, and then answer those questions. We'll know if we agree or disagree with the claim. These are what we call issues. Issues are questions that need to be asked and answered before a decision on a claim can be made. Instead of just agreeing or disagreeing with something, you want to analyze it. You want to analyze that claim, and to analyze it, we need to ask a series of questions. And these issues, and I'm going to use issues and questions kind of interchangeably, but in this class we'll call them issues. And these issues have several characteristics. First, they do need to be phrased as questions. I want to see a question mark after every one of your issues. They need to be relevant to the actual claim. Sometimes we'll ask questions that are kind of off the wall and not really relate to the claim. We want to make sure they have something to do with that claim. They need to be specific. If you're asking a question about what college to go to, and you say, is the college far away? Well, that's not very specific. And so that's going to lead to that sort of vague question will lead to a vague answer. So you want to be specific, like, is that college more than 100 miles away? That can give you a good specific answer. You want it neutral. You don't want to ask a question that has any bias in it. You want to have it to where the yes or no answer can work. So if instead of saying should I buy that horrible iPhone? No, you say, should I buy that iPhone? And remember, only one question per issue. Sometimes people combine two questions. Thinking about the school you want to go to. Does the school have a high quality academics and a good social life? Well, it may have one, it may not have the other. Go ahead and make those two separate issues. So these are the things that all your issues need to be. So let's take a look at this. Excuse me. Let's say my wife and I should purchase a puppy. We've decided, we need a dog around the house, I think. So that's our claim. My wife and I should purchase the puppy, and there's our choice. Who could say no, right? But before we really make this decision, we have to ask ourselves some questions. And we're going to do this one by brainstorming. Just any question that comes off the top of our head. There's other ways of analyzing it, but I'm just going to use brainstorming this time. Would purchasing a puppy get us out of the house more? Would we go for walks with the dog? Do we have enough room outside for a dog? Can we afford to purchase a puppy? Are we allergic to dogs? Will the puppy love me when the wife is mad at me? These are all questions that you may want to ask before you can make a decision on whether you want a puppy or not. Now, there are different levels of questions, and we call them types of issues. The first one are potential issues, and that's what you just saw a list of. All the possible questions someone could ask. Then after we get rid of some of them that aren't that important, we just have the real ones, the ones that are really useful to us. There may be some that we just asked and just came to mind, but they're not really that useful, so we'll narrow them down. But then finally, we'll take those real issues and decide which ones are the deal breakers. We call those the ultimate issues. These are the final key questions that we have to ask and answer to make our decision on a claim. So let's go back and look at what our ultimate issues would have been on purchasing a puppy. Let's say I decided that, are we allergic to dogs? If we are, then we wouldn't get one, right? So we have to answer that question. Can we afford purchasing a puppy? Do we have enough room outside for a dog? And will the puppy love me when my wife is mad at me? Let's say these are the 4 questions that I really want asked and answered before I can make my decision on the claim. So now I've got my issues. Now I need to take those issues and make them into contentions. Contentions are the answered issues. I'm just answering the issues. I'm not arguing the issues. I'm just making a 1-sentence statement answer. They're the reasons why we accept or reject a claim. They originate from our ultimate issues. They're just the answers to those ultimate issues. And they really give structure to your argument. Instead of wandering all over the place, you'll just stick to your contentions and your argument will be much better organized. And think of them as the topic sentence of a paragraph, where you have your topic sentence and then everything below that topic is kind of your proof for that topic. So let's go back to our ultimate issues. Are we allergic to dogs? Can we afford purchasing a puppy? Do we have enough room outside for a dog? And finally, will a puppy love me when the wife is mad at me? So now we need to take these issues and turn them into contentions. So we'll take a look at the first one. Are we allergic to dogs? We are not allergic to dogs. And that's a simple contention. Can we afford purchasing a puppy? We can afford a puppy. Do we have enough room outside for a dog? We have enough room outside for a dog. And finally, will a puppy love me when the wife is mad at me? Will I get that unconditional love? Yes. A puppy will always love me. So now we have our contentions, and the way they're answered, it looks like that I'm going to argue in favor of that claim for these reasons. So here's what it'll look like. Claim, we should purchase a puppy. And now what we're going to do is we're going to organize our contentions. So here's what I would say. I will argue in favor of the claim that we should purchase a puppy for 4 reasons. And notice I didn't say I'm going to argue to purchase a puppy. No, I will argue in favor of the claim as opposed to I will argue against the claim. But I'm going to argue in favor of the claim for 4 reasons. The first one, we're not allergic to dogs. We can afford a puppy. We have enough room outside for a puppy. And a puppy will always love me. Now all I have to do is just prove each one of those, and I've made my argument. So remember the steps. Discover the useful issues through analysis and brainstorming. Narrow the issues to the ultimate issues. Answer those issues. State those answers as your contentions. Organize the issues into a case. Making a point, conveying an emotion requires lots and lots of thinking, and the key is being able to ask and answer the ultimate questions. I hope this helps. And now use this idea for the discussion now that's coming up, the debate that you're going to have.